It is day 2, we can call it, of this freezer cooking I've been doing, where I've done a total, going to have done a total of 50 meals. Let me bring you back up to speed. The last video that came out, I was calling it Freezer Cooking Fails. And I had a power outage during the freezer cooking. I explain all of that in the video. I will pop a card up here. I will leave a link in the description below. If you haven't seen that yet, go watch that video. In that video, I did tons of meal prep to cook up my large family freezer meals pack 5, which is also going to have info on that down below. I also got done sesame orange chicken. We got 2 of those dinners done, and I got about 6 or so pans of burrito pie done. I also got some tortellini quinoa vegetable soup that I do going. That's bringing you up to speed on day 1. Day 2, I finished up the quinoa tortellini soup. Got that in freezer containers. That's in the freezer. Too much of life was going on for me to even take a couple, like 4 or 5 hours to try to finish up these freezer meals. The following day, technically day 3, didn't have a lot of cooking time either. I'll tell you, summer life, right? But we were hungry, we needed to eat. I ended up doing spaghetti. I turned that into the baked spaghetti that's in freezer meals pack 5. Made 7 pans of baked spaghetti and got it in the freezer. So that just shows how you can take the recipes and the directions of the packs and you can tweak it. You don't have to do it all in one day. You can pick away at it over a couple days and we'll get it done. This evening, we are making beef macaroni and cheese. I'm looking at it on my whiteboard here. We're doing many barbecue meatloaves for the freezer. We're gonna do a whole bunch of chicken pot pie. We're gonna do large family style chicken chili. We're gonna also do sausage fries, fried rice, and a ton of meatballs. So let's get cooking and do all this time-wise, because I like to check in. It's about 6:45. What can I say? But that's okay, because kids are outside. I told them to play for like another good hour. I'm gonna actually probably feed them one of the pans of the beef mac and cheese because they need dinner anyway. We're just gonna keep on trucking. We're gonna get this done. I am looking at, let's see here, I wanted to show it to you. Benjamin's growling at the TV. It's the baked beef macaroni and cheese. Basically, it's beefaroni. It's 10 pounds of ground beef, 2 cups of butter, 2 cups of flour, 16 cups of milk, which is 1 gallon, salt and pepper, 96 ounces of elbow macaroni that's cooked and drained. We did that the other night. 16 cups of shredded cheese. That's for the cheese sauce. And then 6 cups of shredded cheese for the topping. This is gonna make about 8 9 by 13 pans of beefaroni. And if you couldn't use some beefaroni in your freezer, then what can I say? But I know if I have a whole bunch of pans of beefaroni in my freezer, we will definitely use it. So now let's make this cheese sauce. So now we'll add in the flour. Once the butter has made the flour kind of wet all over, then we'll add in the milk. Then we're gonna stir that for a bit. Then it's the cheese sauce. Just telling you what's coming up. That's what the flour is looking like right now with the butter. So now we're gonna add the gallon of milk in. Whole big bag of cheese going in now to make all these pans of beef mac and cheese, yes. I hear you, Benjamin, I hear you. So here's an up close and personal look at this cheese sauce. Now I've got to add in the ground beef, and then we'll add in the noodles. I'm actually going to have to stand on my kitchen ladder. This is my biggest stock pot. My stock pot's already halfway full. I'm going to get my trusty 30-quart mixing bowl. I did the noodles the other night, so they're cold. But I'm gonna put those in the bowl, work with them a little bit, pour this hot beef and cheese sauce on them, and then work on stirring them gently and get them in the pans. That's how this is gonna go down. saving my life as always. Thank you, Zion. He's taking a turn with all these dishes. Yay. I have gotten out my biggest glass baking pans. I'm going to fill as many of these as possible with the beef mac and cheese. And then I will probably do a few in foil pans because remember I do plan to share about 15 to 20 of these meals with some different friends and different things going on. But for my family, I'm gonna do these big freezer pans and I will have these linked below. It is a link that has all my favorite large family cooking, freezer cooking stuff. These pans are on there. I haven't had any issues with them. Some people have had issues freezing glass, others have not. It always gets back to those manufacturers' recommendations, and these, when I ordered them, said that they were freezer safe, oven safe, all of that. We're going to fill these pans with the beefaroni, top it with cheese. I'm actually gonna put one in the oven now, just for a little bit for the kids for dinner, but to melt the cheese on top. This recipe makes a good 8 total 9 by 13 pans. So here is our 11 by 16 ginormous pan, putting in the oven for dinner tonight. I will actually be out tomorrow. I've got a doctor's appointment in the morning, and no, I'm not pregnant, but doctor's appointment in the morning for myself. And then I'm gonna go to Panera Bread for the day and do computer work all day long since I'm already gonna be out. So if there's anything left, the kids and Travis can have this for lunch tomorrow. Of course, I have one of these big pans in the oven now, so that would be 5. These much bigger deep dish pans full. And if I was just using a regular 9 by 13 pan, it would have been at least 8. So for my family, this would be enough for dinner one night. And as I say, some leftovers for lunch the following day. I get lots of questions on, is one 9 by 13 pan enough for my family? And so, no, one 9 by 13 pan exclusively is not enough. However, I always serve some other things along with it if it's just that one pan that's for dinner. If I just know it's an evening where I can't add anything to it, I might get 2 different pans of something, have those set out the day before, and then we would just use those for dinner the following night. An example of that would be like tomorrow. If I know I'm not going to be back home, and I know Travis and the kids are going to be doing their thing all day, if I set out 2 pans, 2 9 by 13 pans of something, then tomorrow afternoon they can get those in the oven, and that is what they would have for dinner. Okay, so another question I get often is about how I wrap the pans. So what I like to do is I do 2 layers of foil, 2 layers of plastic wrap. That works well. We usually eat all the meals that I stock up in the freezer within a 3-month time period. And as I already mentioned, I will set them out into the refrigerator the day before we need them. And once you get into that habit, you just know, okay, it's morning, so I need to set out tomorrow's dinner from the freezer now, and what's set out in the refrigerator is something I set out the day before. Got all that? Okay. I know in my recent Costco haul, several people were shocked that I spent $25 for one thing of foil. But what you have to know is this is 750 square feet of foil. This is enough foil for me for a year. This thing of plastic wrap, I've been using this for well over a year. So these are more expensive to buy on the front end, but then I'm not dealing with all the little rolls of it. These do have the red plastic lids that I could also use. I just prefer, I have not tested this at all. I just like wrapping in foil and plastic wrap because I feel like that prevents freezer burn, and I don't deal with a lot of freezer burn because I always wrap my stuff well. And I'm concerned about those red plastic lids. I stuck that on top for 3 months. There's just a lot of air in there. So maybe silly, may have no point whatsoever. Let me check on this. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So here is a look at this beefaroni project. This is the pan I'm serving up for dinner. It is delicious. These are 4 more pans, the equivalent of a bazillion 9x13s, but 4 of these 11x16 deep dish pans going in the freezer. Okay guys, this is our favorite time in the freezer cooking video. It's Jamerrill's reality check-in time. Reality check-in is, just got done feeding a bunch of kids, getting a bunch of kids set off to bed, and I have lost my steam. The main factor here with losing my steam is I have to drive about an hour and 20 minutes, maybe an hour and a half in the morning to get to my appointment. Again, if it just goes along with being super rural. So I know now I best clean up, get to bed, so I get up and go to that in the morning. And where I was going to spend the day out working at Panera, I may have to cut that short because I've still got all this food prepped and I really need to get this finished up. But again, I've just like hit my energy wall for the night. So I'm gonna go to bed like every normal person in the galaxy. I'm gonna go to my appointment in the morning. The only thing I really got done was this equivalent of 8 9x13 pans of baked mac and cheese. So this is not what you were expecting in this freezer cooking video. This is not what I was expecting in this freezer cooking video. So a real life update here. I've had a little medical emergency. They happen from time to time. And I ended up in the emergency room the other day, and I've got a thing happening, and I could not finish all the freezer meals and all I've prepped and all of that. So it is like a freezer cooking emergency, right? I don't have all my numbers in front of me of, you know, I like to tell you exactly how many of each meal I made, but I will have that math when this video is edited, and if you look down in the description box, I'll have everything laid out perfectly. I know I made, I'm gonna say 7 or 8 pans of burrito pie. I know I made 7 or 8 pans of baked spaghetti, and then I know I made 7 or 8 of the baked beefaroni or baked beef macaroni and cheese. So I got a lot done, so I'm gonna say I have the equivalent of 20 or so freezer meals out of, you know, I bought and prepped enough to do 50, but I just got caught up here. If you want to see exactly what I'm dealing with and, you know, etc., I'll spare you all of that in the video, except otherwise just know I've had like a health crisis, and I will have the video linked at the end of this video, and it'll also be linked down in the description below if you just want to like hear the whole story. Long story short, I'm supposed to be resting primarily for at least a week. I am up, but I'm not up a lot. I'm only doing this right now because what I want to show you over the next few days is I just want to show you how we're using these freezer meals in this like little bit of family emergency time, because so many of you ask me, you know, Jamerrill, we see you wrap the videos, yeah, we see you wrap the food, we see you freeze the food, but we want to see like the whole process of getting it in the oven and cooking it and serving it. Tonight, we're gonna have one of those baked spaghettis. Now, I am feeding tonight, see, I have 5 children home, and my husband and myself, so that's 7. Our oldest son is out and about in the big world, and then our next 2 oldest children are helping friends at a big festival with their business and such this weekend. So for the next couple nights, I don't even have teenage helpers at home. My oldest kiddo who's at home is 10. My husband has been out all day because we already had appointments for vehicle, new tires and oil change and stuff for today. So he's been checking in, but he's been out most of the day doing those things. I'm gonna finally quit rambling, get this baked spaghetti in the oven. So obviously, if you are dealing with an imperfect situation as I am, and your freezer meal is, you know, only about half defrosted, you're gonna have to cook it for longer and keep an eye on it. That's why I'm going to tent this a little bit and cook it for a little longer. All of your casseroles, etc., when you reheat, need to reach an internal temperature of at least 165 degrees based on what I've read. So I'm gonna get this in the oven now. It's gonna take a little longer, still gonna be good. I'll give you one more look. And so I'll pull this foil off about halfway through. I want to cook it till it's thoroughly cooked and hot and bubbly on the inside. Here is the pan of baked spaghetti that just came out. I cooked it for an hour with the foil tented. Then I took the foil off and I cooked it an additional 40 minutes. And the internal temperature is above 165, and I did that because, again, it was still frozen a bit because we just took it out this morning. That's just how it works. So this baked spaghetti is going to be used up tonight. Okay, so here is the baked spaghetti dinner in action. We've got, this is Gabriel's plate with baked spaghetti, applesauce, carrots. Liam's baked spaghetti, applesauce, carrots. We have Amelia's, and she wanted to finish up the blueberries, so her applesauce is on the side. Then we have Daniel's plate, and then we have Benjamin's plate. Okay, so it's Saturday night, and I have been resting like a good little soldier most of the day. I did get up and putter around a little bit this morning, but honest and truly, my Girl Scout honor, I have been sitting and resting. Kids are back outside right now playing. They've kind of had like 2 big play spurts today. So they're back out for the second big one. The 2 teenagers are still gone. The report back on the baked spaghetti that we did last night is the 5 younger kids that are home ate about half of that 9x13 pan, and then today them and my husband finished up what was left for lunch. So now I am going to do the baked mac and cheese. This is my 11x16, my slightly bigger pan, deep dish, one of my glass pans. And so we're gonna get that in the oven now. This is a big favorite, super mega big favorite. So I know that they're gonna love this. As far as what I've been eating is, I'm just kind of odd right now in what I want to eat. So I've been eating cereal, and I'm trying to think. I did have a little bit of the baked spaghetti last night, but I didn't have any today. So yeah, I'm just kind of eating fruit and cereal and hanging out. But all these other people have to eat. So let's get this baked mac and cheese in the oven. Okay, it is a sizzling and a bubbling, but the kids are still playing outside. So obviously I'm gonna let this sit here and cool for a bit while I go put my feet up a little longer, and then I'll show you what this looks like when we get it all served out. Now this is Benjamin's plate, and yes, he will eat all that baked macaroni, and that is about 1/4 of a pear, and he can have all he wants. So that's the first plate out. Here's Daniel's plate, here's Amelia's plate, here's Liam's plate, and Gabriel's plate. Okay guys, so feeding 7 people tonight. This is what's left from one of my big casserole dishes. Obviously, if our 2 to 3 teens were home tonight, this would be all gone. So now day 3, we are gonna, yeah, you get your shoes on, honey. We're gonna do 2 of these pans. These are 9 by 13 pans, and this is a burrito pie. Everybody loves it. And my 16-year-old is chopping up a bunch of fresh veggies. I almost said French veggies. Fresh veggies that will go along with this, but you'll see this is a big hit. I made all these freezer meals with the thought of we were sharing a bunch with some friends with some different situations and stuff going on too. And now we have our own. So if I was making these with my family in mind to start, I would have used my big glass casserole dishes that you've seen in several freezer meals, but that's why these are in foil this go round. There's the burrito pie out of the oven. It did sit just a tad too long because Mama was busy doing other things, but still gonna eat it, no problem. I'll show you the plates. Here's Daniel's plate and Amelia's plate. So again, that's their burrito pie and some veggies and dip. Okay, friends, things can only go up from here. I am bringing you my big announcement while hiding back in my back bathroom, sitting on the edge of this bathtub full of kids' toys. I have something exciting. I've actually been working on this since the idea came to me in April. I was hoping to get this out in May. And I know you're like, Jamerrill, you just told us you were sick and you're living off of freezer meals. Yes, this is all coming together at this same time. I am going to be a good little chicken here, and I'm going to rest for at least another week. But from the date that this video comes out, the following week, on August 26th, I am leading my first ever Feeding My Freezer cooking challenge. It's going to be a 5-day challenge. You can join me for free. That link is going to be the first link in the description below. I will also have it pinned in the comments. Whenever you sign up for the free Feeding My Freezer cooking challenge, I'm going to lead you live through filling your freezer with 10 to 12 meals for your family. We're going to do double dinners, we're going to do some breakfast, we're going to do some sandwiches and kids' lunches, but it's not too much. It's not 20 to 50 meals, how I would like to do. It's a gentle start of 10 to 12. So again, I'm going to do this live starting on August 26th. What you need to do is sign up for the challenge in the link in the description below. Do that now. I'm going to send you out the free Feeding My Freezer quick start guide that's going to have the directions on the challenge, the recipes, the shopping list, and also ways that you can modify the recipes and such that I have personally picked out, and how you can make it work for you, even if you have different dietary issues and just other things you need to accommodate. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, I'm going to lead it live every day. I will be sharing on Instagram. There will also be a special exclusive Facebook group for the challenge and a daily email. So sign up now so you get that quick start guide. You got all of that, and I can't wait to do this with you. And I'm sure some of you are already asking, since I sprung this Jamerrill's summer illness on you. I'm feeling a lot better. I feel like the antibiotic is really taking care of my situation. A lot of my videos, even from 5 years ago, still have people finding them and watching them. This is future Jamerrill. If you are watching this video after August 28th, 2019, you can still get in on the challenge. I'm going to have it set up and be evergreen. So if you still sign up, you will still get the quick start guide and all the directions to do it on your own. And I also hope to pop in and lead this Feeding My Freezer cooking challenge a couple times each year. So I'm excited about it. Thank you for dealing with my freezer cooking craziness. And I'm just thankful we at least got 20 meals in. We're going to definitely use them throughout this coming week while I'm still resting up. Look for me on August 26th to do this challenge with me live. Be lots of fun. Be sure to click on these videos and see how my freezer cooking videos got started here on YouTube 5 years ago. It's just amazing. Time flies when you're having fun. Chat with you in the comments below. Bye-bye.